It's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Friday, August 12th. So today we are still very much in the full moon energy. We will have the moon in Aquarius shift out of this Aquarian energy and into Pisces energy. So the moon will be going void, of course, 7:08 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will be locking into Piscean energy at 2:46 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is quite a chunk of the day that the moon will be void, of course, which creates a lot of instability, a lot of insecurity, a lot of doubts. Not a good time to take action, not a good time to make a decision, not a good time to commit to anything. Now, again, we're still in the full moon energy. If you haven't listened to the astro forecast, please do so. If you haven't downloaded your moon guide, there's still lots of time for that. The moon in Aquarius was definitely creating a buzz, created a shift in the collective, in our individual realms as well, with new aha moments, new epiphanies, new information, new details coming at us hot and heavy that will totally change the game, change the perspective of the past, change our intentions for the future. Now, having the moon move out of Aquarian energy and into Pisces energy is always a shift that puts us in a state of hypersensitivity. Now, granted, the moon in Pisces does take us on a little bit of a deep healing journey in our emotions because, of course, it is a water sign. Our intuition will likely peak. Again, we're still pinging off of the full moon energy, super hypersensitive anyways. So we do want to be very cautiously aware of our want, need, and desire to basically run away from reality, to check out, to disassociate, to numb, because we will be overwhelmed with our senses, with our thoughts, with our memories, with our emotions, just with life in general. So we do want to just be very cautiously aware that when we dive into that Piscean energy, that everything gets to be a little bit too much. Now, it's a great time for creativity, tapping into la la land and seeing what pops out at us as far as dreams and visions and new ideas and inspiration goes. However, dealing with the nitty-gritty details of our actual physical life circumstances likely not going to be very high up on the list. There are 9 different aspects here today, and 8 of them involve the moon. The moon will be conjunct, sitting next to, teaming up with, bumping into Saturn. If you listen to the full moon astro forecast, you would know that Saturn was a major factor in this full moon energy, only sitting basically 2 degrees away from that 19 degree where the full moon in Aquarius peaked. And now the moon is up right equivalent to the Saturn energy. This is definitely going to bring us down a couple of pegs, definitely show us where there is heaviness, where there's weight going on in our mental plane, in our heart space, and in our physical circumstances. We need to get a little bit serious, a little bit somber on our to-do list. We should have realized where it is right now that we have to get to work and actually taking control over our physical lives, which requires us to do a little bit of building, especially with new roles and responsibilities, freeing ourselves from the old and totally bossing up and embodying the new. The moon will semi-square Jupiter, which is a little bit of a tension point because Jupiter wants us to grow. He wants us to improve. He wants us to progress. He wants us to shift our beliefs. He wants us to focus on the big picture of abundance and blessings that are awaiting for us. However, now is not the time to push, to make a move, to grow, to improve, to progress, and therefore we're feeling a little bit of tension there. Emotionally speaking, we will feel very large in our emotional field. Again, Jupiter magnifies whatever it is that we're thinking and feeling. And right now we are thinking and feeling a lot that many of us are not even able to pinpoint, unable to even articulate within ourselves. We just know that we're kind of feeling overwhelmed in our senses, in our headspace, in our heart space. The moon will interact with Neptune, who is retrograde in its place of power in Pisces. This is definitely going to put us a little bit at odds with a outside situation, let's say, that is really going to put us in a difficult position to lean into our intuition. At this particular point, the moon is still in Aquarius energy. So we are kind of feeling that, I'm going to say, observer mentality, but the observer mentality is focused on the actual data, logic, practicality coming from our physical realm, where Neptune energy would want us to really align with our higher selves, our intuition, to grasp a vision and a dream of what is possible and not rely on our physical circumstances to dictate what is actually possible. It would kind of be likely that a situation is going to take place outside of our control in our physical realms that will overwhelm us as well in the mental plane and in the heart space, and really push us to not want to deal with life. So maybe you're being asked to step up to honor your commitments or to do a certain role of responsibility that just seems a little bit difficult and overwhelming at this particular point in time. And of course, the Neptune and Pisces energy is the escape artist of the zodiac. So we're looking to get out of our obligations, of our commitments, of our physical realm, so to speak. And it can make it very difficult for navigating the thoughts that are popping off in our head and the emotions popping off in our heart space. 7:08 a.m. before the moon goes void, of course, the last aspect that the moon is going to make is a pretty tough one. It's a square. It's entering into the boxing ring with Mars, the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desire, who is in Taurus energy, going low and slow, trying to figure out what it is that we need to unearth within ourselves, where our own self-worth, our own self-confidence, our own self-esteem is concerned, to see where the blockages are preventing us from actually giving birth to and creating a brand new foundation of worth, of value within ourselves that, of course, will better our relationships, better our money matters, and set us up for success with our long-term goals. So the moon in Aquarius, although kind of emotionally detached in order to act as the observer and really see everything from all sides, entering into the boxing ring with Mars does kind of suggest that Mars kind of has ants in his pants. He wants to take action and make a move. And of course, he's already kind of angered and frustrated and a little bit irritable because he is in this fixed earth energy of Taurus, meaning that he can't go as fast as he would like. He has to be logical and practical and strategic in the actions and the moves that he makes. And this could definitely take the wind out of our sails, so to speak, making us a little bit unmotivated and unfocused and uninspired and really agitated with the, I'm going to say, opportunity to make progress, because there's not a whole lot of opportunity to make the kind of progress that we would be happy with at right now. And we're a little bit frustrated. Keep in mind, the full moon is not a time of action. It's a time of illumination. We have to sit back and see what is rising to the surface to be fully informed before we can go ahead and actually make a move. And this, again, is going to add to the frustration, the irritability that Mars brings to the surface, because he just wants to, constantly assert himself and pursue matters of the heart, matters of, new projects, new paths, new directions, new inspirations, and the universe is just not supporting us in taking those kinds of actions. So then the moon goes void, and we're definitely shaky. We're very unstable. And just 20 minutes later, after the moon goes void, we have Venus, who is just fresh into Leo energy. If you haven't listened to that astro forecast, I'm going to recommend you do so. We had Venus jump out of that very, very emotional water of Cancer energy here yesterday and moved into the heart and soul of the zodiac, Leo energy. Things are definitely a different vibe. Our heart space is a lot stronger, pointing us in the direction of what makes us happy and what it is that we have to do to lighten the vibe. And Venus is going to go ahead and make a very positive interaction with Uranus. Uranus still in its power, being the ruler over this full moon energy. We're definitely getting a shake up. We're getting a wake up, but all in the right ways. Why? Because we're having an epiphany. We're having an aha moment. We suddenly know what it is that we want, what we need, what we desire. We're suddenly restructuring our values, our worth, not only within ourselves, but what it is worthy of our time, love, and attention in our physical realm. This is definitely opening us up to some unusual quirks, if you will. Venus, again, is kind of more open to being attracted to qualities and characteristics that she wouldn't normally be attracted to. This Uranian energy is a little bit of the alien of the zodiac, if you will, pushing us outside of our comfort zone to explore quirkiness, weirdness. And we might just find that this awakener, which Uranus is, just happens to send a lightning bolt into our realms, putting us in the right place at the right time to cross paths with the right kind of people. This is a very positive aspect. We have to expect the unexpected when Uranus is in play. And now that Venus is in Leo, she's out to have a good time. She's out to kind of err on the side of caution, to throw caution to the wind, if you will, to let her hair down, to have some fun. And she's just ready to explore the boundaries outside of the heart space that she created, that she recognized in Cancer season, tended to look more like a prison than a safe place for her to actually set up camp in. So that should definitely kind of add a little bit of a spark, a spice layer to the events that will be taking place as we move into the weekend. The moon in Aquarian energy still, while void, is going to be bumping into Pluto in a way that would suggest that we get an opportunity to kind of step back, to act as the observer, to make a choice, to make a different decision on how it is that we're going to handle things differently. Now, keep in mind, the moon is our emotions. Pluto, the god of the underworld, is focused on transformation. We're still in the full moon energy. We've had a lot of realizations and revelations that we don't quite know what to do with yet. We are kind of stuck in this narrative where we have to explore the darker thoughts and darker feelings in order to actually get to the primary root cause of some of the reasons of why things aren't working well for us. And what we know to be true is that we might have to dabble down that river of darkness, not to stay there, not to set up camp there, but just serving as a reminder of where it is that we've been in the past, what it is that we've been able to survive and overcome. And hopefully in this state of reflection, we will be able to understand where it is that, you know what, we're not going to fall for the same thing this time around. Instead, we're going to boss up. We're going to take our power back. We're going to take control of the situation. And hopefully this energy will inspire us and motivate us to make the change and transformation that has definitely been thrown in our face over the last couple of weeks. Again, as we anticipated that Lionsgate portal, we were definitely feeling torn in two. And then bam, bam, thank you, ma'am. Here we are, full moon in Aquarius energy that is totally going to shake us up and wake us up to a brand new perspective and a brand new path forward. The moon will be moving into this Piscean energy, again, locking in at 2:46 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The very first aspect that the moon in Pisces makes is a semi-square to Chiron. This does not feel good, people. Chiron, the wounded healer, of course, illuminating for us where it is that we've accumulated this pain, this trauma, this suffering. Now, let me just say, the moon in Pisces is overwhelmed with all of the thoughts and memories and feelings and situations. And again, life. We just want to escape it at this point. The moon interacting with Chiron at this point could definitely turn the volume all the way up on the bad thoughts, on the bad feelings, on our want, need, and desire to totally escape our physical realms altogether and just curl up in bed and live in la la land until something fixes itself, not realizing that nothing will fix itself unless we boss up and fix it ourselves. The moon will be bumping into Venus in a way that would suggest that we're going to have an opportunity, a learning opportunity to put forth new actions, new thoughts, new ways of taking care of the situation and ourself. However, this is going to be a tough one because we're already overwhelmed, hyper stimulated, picking up on energies that do not even belong to us, having a hard time grounding, super aligned with our intuition, but also super overwhelmed with the amount of insight coming in. We don't quite know how to make sense of it as of yet. Venus being fresh into Leo energy, very passionate on trying to figure out what actually makes her happy and what is worth her time and energy and focus. And really kind of, blossoming into her most beautiful, truest self. However, this particular situation could almost illuminate for us where it is that we're not ready to make the change, where it is that we're not feeling so bold and courageous and brave, and we're not quite sure on what is making us happy, and we don't know which direction to go in. This could create a lot of chaos and definitely will contribute to the overall chaos of the situation that we're currently in with the full moon energy. Now, what we know to be true is when we suffer from a huge amount of chaos, it is because clarity is just around the corner. And when we are in the midst of a mental or emotional breakdown, it is because a breakthrough is just around the corner. And what we know to be true is that, when the moon moves into Pisces and pops off with Chiron and with Venus, we're likely going to feel like we are overwhelmed, like we don't know what to do, we don't know what to think, we don't know where to go. And that is absolutely the perfect setup for the last aspect of the day, which is the moon making a very harmonious aspect with the true node. The true node, of course, our soul's path, our soul's purpose, our soul's destiny, trying to get us on the right path in life in order to actually reach our mission. And the moon interacting with the true node in this way would suggest then guess what? We are making sense out of the chaos, out of the confusion. We are finally feeling like we know the direction, the path, the choice, the decision that we need to make. Mostly because we get a beautiful window of opportunity later on in the day here where we do get to be aligned with our intuition, with our higher self, where we do get to feel the overwhelming excitement of capturing a vision of the dream that we're looking to actually pursue in life. And that particular energy of the dream, of the vision, is giving us a little bit of a hint, a little bit of a puzzle piece, if you will, on what the next step it should be, what the next step in the strategy should be, what the next move should be, what path, what direction, what choice we should be making in order to actually get on the right path that the true node wants us to be on.